Welcome back to Salazar Art Nation. This is Frank, and this is day 12 at the time of this recording of the 30 days of making mini comics. I just put out a video where I went to my local comic book shop to try to get some mini comics in there. So you can go watch that as soon as I upload that video should already be up. I haven't done any actual work on a mini comic today or anything towards the mini comic, except just kind of trying to get my stuff, out there in the public. But I've been wanting to do this video. Most likely, what I am going to be doing today, probably after this video, is just transferring some of the notes that I have for a Captain Goggles and MASKUP story. Just stuff where just where we want to take the story. So I'll be transferring those into my laptop here. So I'll be just doing a little bit of writing. And speaking of writing, it goes into the video because I had this question not that long ago. I think a few weeks ago, someone asked, "How do I get ideas for comics, for stories?" The exact comment was, "I have trouble coming up with ideas." So I'm just going to talk about some of the ways that I've gotten ideas, and some of the stuff that I've written before. So let's just get to the video. So this is Citizen Critter. This is the 4-page manga that I had done, and most of this I came up with as I was drawing. As I was just kind of figuring out what I was going to draw. Once I had the name, or more or less what I wanted the character to be, that's when the ideas started coming a little bit better. Because when I did that comic, this one, the original one, the stick figure one, I did it as a joke, as a gag. Just to kind of just make a stick figure comic and act like that was going to be my big story. And this was for April, so that was my April Fool's gag that I didn't do on April Fool's Day, because if I want to do a gag for April Fool's, I would do it all month. That was my thinking, and hindsight, probably not the best idea. Anyway, so that one, I mean, I just kind of did it, spur of the moment type of thing. But I did take a few hours just try and draw how I wanted the panels, and even though it was gonna be a gag, I still wanted it to be a decent story. And once I decided I wanted my superhero character to be Citizen Critter, I wanted him to have a this design, this aesthetic, because this is based or inspired by, not based on, but inspired by a Mexican TV show that had a character, a superhero character that I used to watch as a kid at Chapulín, Colorado. So once I had that, then I knew more or less what I wanted to do. It was going to be a joke at the end. So I just took a basic joke. I guess I can spoil it. It's not like the best story, but whatever. So we can see this kid. He was microwaving some ramen noodles, and he had put an egg in there. He overcooked it, and so it kind of like exploded, and there's a little egg there. And Citizen Critter says, "Looks like you got egg on your face." Wah wah. That was it. So all the three pages before it just starts off with action. Like, oh, there he is, flying here. Oh man, gotta go save the day. A joke. So that's one of my tips. Use jokes. Use the corniest, the lamest, whatever joke you can think of. Build a story around it, and just have that joke be the punchline. And I have another comic here. This was actually my very first completed mini comic, or comic in general. Very first completed comic. The ironing tip, and most of the setup, actually I think like 90% of the setup, except for the last part, actually did happen. Like it's I mean, I changed a little bit here and there, but I had this conversation where someone was telling me that I need to iron my shirts, and you can see I just slapped this on, so this is not ironed, so it's wrinkled. But that was the conversation, that I need to iron my shirts, and I actually did iron my shirt that day. I just didn't iron it very well. So that was an actual conversation, and I think one time I was just talking to a friend about it, about this conversation that I had, and as I said, I just thought up of this joke towards the end. Like, I was rubbing potatoes on my shirt all day, and that was the joke. That you need to add more starch on your shirt, and here he is rubbing potatoes on the shirt. that was it. That was a joke. So I took a little bit of real life inspiration, and I took a gag that I made, turned it into a comic. So jokes, I mean, use jokes. If you're just starting out, if you just want a quick gag, if it's something like you're not doing a grand opus, a big graphic novel, or you're just, you just want to do a quick little comic, you use jokes, use gags. And so, that's one of my tips. Another tip is use writing prompts. I went to the Five Below here, and they had some writing prompts, so I got these. So I got 400 writing prompts, and I also got write the poem. So it's a poetry prompt. So you can just glance through this, depending on the type of writing prompt book that you get, if you get one. I mean, this one just says topic. So here's spirituality. This is write a poem about spirituality, and it gives you words you can associate with, word associations. So you got God right on top. Or the worldly, worship, creed, principle, faith, teachings, passion. And see what you can come up with that. Write something out, at least to get you thinking, to get you started. I just happened to open up to that page, but Captain Courage is it's faith based. There's some spirituality in there because he's a faith based superhero or hero. I mean, doesn't have actual superpowers, but he has technology. So kind of like Batman, a little bit mixture of Batman and Captain America. But so I've actually used some of those elements. And this one, the 400 writing prompts. It starts you off with a sentence, so it's got a couple here. A few. So let's see. In what way are you fragile? Write some things down. Get your ideas down, and same with the poetry prompts. Get those juices flowing. Get those gears moving. You can come up with a story. In what way are you fragile? Again, I just opened the book to this. One of the mini comics that I'm working on and I did talk about it one of the last videos. I didn't want to go too much into it, but it is something that happened to me when I was a kid, and it was a very fragile moment. I want to save that because I want to spend a little bit more time on that. But yeah, it's just interesting that some of this stuff I'm already doing without even like doing some of these tips. But oh wow, look, check this one out. Create a new nemesis for Batman. What is the character's name? What is their feud about? Describe a short scenario, comic book style. How perfect is that? You don't even have to use Batman. Use something else. Or and if you do, I mean, you could Superman, Spider-Man, like whatever superhero. But the character you create is going to be your own. The villain, the nemesis you create is going to be your own. So there, you got an idea for a character design now. So so that's tip 2, using writing prompts. You can get inspiration from anywhere. I mean, a lot of mine, it's a mixture from things like this, jokes, writing prompts. Some of it's conversations that I've had with people, and if it's another creative person, they don't have to be comic creators, but if it's another creative person that thinks creatively, you can bounce off ideas and start thinking of a story, or if you're discussing story elements, you can co-write a story. Captain Goggles and Masked Woman, that's how that happened. And then I asked Anna, "What do you think?" And she was like, "Well, why don't you do this and why don't you do that?" And like it went from a gag about how she types long posts to robot dinosaurs and agencies and other things. So yeah, so tip 2, talk to a friend. ask someone for advice. Brainstorming. That's it. So for this one, Plant Life from the Stars. I mean, this is just a Little Shop of Horrors. Uh, Big fan of Little Shop of Horrors. I like Venus flytraps. I like plants that could potentially kill you. that would make a cool story. I'm pretty much same premise. Plant from outer space. Killed some people, ate some people. Here I just kind of focused more on the outer space. So it's already, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of dark. Guy watering up a little plant, and actually this scene of the alien on the little alien world watering a plant. This one kind of looks like a rose. I got that idea from The Little Prince, which was an animated series, also a movie, and it's a book where it's about a little prince that lives on an asteroid, and that's his home. He takes care of it. He has a rose that he loves, so he waters it, takes care of it. So same premise. Same premise. I just kind of twisted it around. Yeah, use media, movies, stories, other stuff. Get inspiration from other things. I'm a big fan of Little Shop of Horrors. When people saw this, I got Little Shop of Horror feels. Like, yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. So be honest about it. So yeah, that's tip. Was that 4? Oh no, 5. You know, find inspiration in other media. Do what works for you. Um, Sometimes what I would also do, and I haven't done this in a while, but I would just write. Like I would just sit down on my desk, at my desk, pencil or computer, just type randomly, scribble or just write random words, and then like okay, try to come up with a story with that, or just random stuff, and see what you can come up with. You can come up with a story from there, and also don't be afraid to go back and change things. It's what you write down. It's not the first thing you write down is not gonna be gold. It's not gonna be like, man, that's a top notch idea. Like go back, change it. Rough drafts, stuff like that. Oh yeah, I forgot to say my other inspiration. I use the Bible, so this is verses from the Bible. It's the armor of God. Scripture talking about the armor of God, and that is part of the inspiration for Captain Courage. The armor he wears, each element lines up with Ephesians 6:13, and that's what this is gonna be. Just showing each element, each part. So you got the helmet of salvation, the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, uh, Bible. Another source of inspiration. Oh, I mean comics, not excuses. Jason Alexander of Fallbreaker Studios. Last year he did a writing prompt challenge uh, in October of last year called the Fogbreaker Open. And he came up with prompt words. It was Halloween inspired, so he came up with some words and did stories around them. He just wrote those out, and those ended up becoming comics, and some of those are in the mini comics bundles by Aaron Guzman and Fogburger Studios. They teamed up. So yeah, I mean, use writing prompts. Like that's one of the tips. There's also you don't have to stick with writing prompts. It can be drawing prompts too. Uh, Inktober, and there's a whole bunch. I think right now there's mermaids going on. You can do a mermaid mini comic. So yeah, which Dave Hingley, he used Inktober last year, and I think he used it again this year, and that's how he did Space Crash. Those were at least the first Space Crash was Inktober drawing prompts, and he made a comic panel each day for 30 days. He made a comic. At the end of the month, he made a comic, and he just did a Space Crash 2. so, so yeah, use prompts, writing prompts, drawing prompts, whatever. I did a one-page comic. So I mean, you don't even have to do 8 pages, 4 pages. You can do one page. I just did two simple panels. It doesn't even have a name, but so I just kind of drew a guy standing on the panel itself, which is a no-no. It's a tangent. I purposely drew it like that, and like, what can I do with this? Because I was gonna do something with it, like to kind of acknowledge that it is a tangent, but also make it funny. So jokes. Like I was just kind of like sketching, and then just went over it and sketched it again. Just drew the guy. He's there on the panel. He's there. He's gonna get his morning coffee, so he's there like a zombie with his arms stretched out, uh, and he falls through the other panel, crashes on the second panel, lands on the floor, and the jug's right there. That's what I get for standing on the panel. So I did a little comic on a tangent, breaking panels and breaking the fourth wall. Just kind of combined them. I am gonna go over the art a little bit, and then I'll just put that up for free on my Coffee account. I should probably do some free comics on there. But yeah, these are the ideas. These are the tips. You got any tips of your own? Leave them in the comments below. This is what I've been working on. Doing this challenge, or you're thinking about doing the 30 days of making mini comics challenge. Hey, jump in. There's no date that you have to start on. It's whenever you're ready. So thanks for watching. Hope you liked this video. Leave a like, leave a comment, share this video out. Again, I do want to say a big shout out to Harper. He's doing this challenge. He's great. We're on the same day, so he's on day 12. So check out his channel, check out his videos, because he's putting up a few videos. And check out the video I just did where I go to limited editions. I'm going to leave a link to their Instagram in the description, so you can go check them out on Instagram. Just follow them, give them a like on one of their pictures, comment. So yeah, thanks for watching. Make comics, not excuses. Stay creative.